Hi, welcome to How to Repair. This video we're going to show you how to replace carbon brushes on a washing machine. We've already removed the panels and the belt off the machine to make the video shorter for you. You can see these procedures in other videos. We're working on a Bosch washing machine. It can be also used for Neff Siemens and Balay. Now on this model of machine there are only 2 bolts holding the motor in place. Some of the other models and makes do have 4. So we'll just quickly remove these. Then we'll remove the wiring and slide the motor out. We've put a few links on this video which you'll be able to view while viewing it in YouTube and on the website, which will take you to the appropriate section for the full procedure of this repair, including taking the panels and belt off. As you can see here, we're just removing the motor harness, and we're going to just tuck the loom out of the way. Now, using a flat blade screwdriver, just slowly prise the motor off the lugs, remembering the motor is quite heavy, so do not let it land on your hand because the panels are very sharp. And there we go. Now we'll put this on top of the machine. Right, I'll show you the basics of how the motor works. The motor rotates clockwise and anti-clockwise while washing, and when it comes to a spin cycle it rotates fast in one direction. The brushes locate onto the armature at an angle. They have a sharp end which is 45 degrees. The armature itself has a head on the very end of the armature which is called a commutator. This is where the brushes sit. A good technique is to always make good notes of which way the angle of the brush is when you remove the brush before fitting the new ones. I'm just showing you this before I start the procedure properly. Right, we'll start the procedure in full now. The wire you can see here is attached to the actual brush. Now this has a locking mechanism on it which you need to depress before pulling off. You can see me just showing you this here. It pushes down and then you're able to release it. Right, next we actually need to remove the brush itself. Now there is a location tab which is like a H piece you can see here, which must be pushed down before the brush will pop out. The other end of the brush will just slide out, or the brush clips, sorry. Now you can see the spring and the wire that attaches to the end of the brush, which is the carbon end. This is the part that sits on the commutator and passes the electrical current through to the armature. This is at the point where you need to make a note of the way it came out. Now on the other side you can see me doing the retaining clip on the spade, pushing it backwards, which releases the pin that holds it on to the connector for the brush. And here you can see the H bracket which I'm showing you here, which is the location tab, which needs to be pushed up in line with the rest of the brush holder, and then it comes towards you and it will pop out, and as I said earlier, the other end will slide out. Now you're able to remove the whole brush and the carbon. Right, now here we got a set of new brushes which we're going to replace. The old ones were still good, but they were half worn. And as you can see, the difference in length between the two are very different. Again, making sure you put the brush in correctly, aligning it to the commutator. And this is the trickiest part of all, where you actually have to get the spring into the brush holder. Then you just slide the one part of the tab across so it locks, leaving the screwdriver in place, and this will allow you to put the spade connector on. You don't need to mess around with the retaining tab because it automatically locks in place. It's designed to stop the wire falling off the brush while the machine is spinning and vibrating. Again, follow this procedure exactly the same for the other side. We've been doing this 30 odd years, and you can always have trouble with these springs. So just take your time and do it correctly. Again, just holding the tab in place while you put the spade connector on, because if you don't do this, it will pop out and you have to go through the whole procedure again. Right, next we need to refit the motor. Again, following the instructions from the beginning, sliding it onto the lugs, remembering to protect your hand as it's quite heavy. Push it back far enough so you can get the bolts in. Fit the wiring harness back to the motor, remembering to connect the earth, and tuck all the wiring back into its location. And sometimes it's worth putting on a cable tie onto the wiring to keep it neat and tidy, so none of the wires chaff when the machine's vibrating. Right, while I'm doing up the bolts, please remember to visit the website and subscribe to our channel. On the website we have not only repair guides, we have video diagnostic guides, and we also have the fault code errors for individual manufacturers. Also remember, at the website, on the individual diagnostic pages and repair guides, we will show you the cheapest places, in our opinion, for you to buy the parts. We do sell our own parts, but we do a fair appraisal of all companies. You can buy the parts from eBay, Amazon, and we'll show you the links. If you have any suggestions for new videos that you would like made, please do not hesitate to contact us at the website. Thanks very much for watching.